Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Surviving the Aftermath. This has gone 1.0, so we're coming back to have a look at the proper full release. So let's get everything out of the way at the front. What is Surviving the Aftermath? Well, it's kind of in the title. It is a surviving colony management game. It is set in a post-apocalyptic setting, and it focuses a little bit more on sort of the hazards and just the horrible living of that era, as opposed to shooting and killing as much. However, they did sneak a bit of that sort of overworld exploring combat raiding stuff in, which I don't think is to its strength, but that's for later in the video, I suppose. Let's see. It's out of Paradox, so, you know, take that for what it's worth. Surviving Mars was the previous game by this studio under the Paradox banner, and so this is sort of like a pseudo-sequel, spiritual successor in the Surviving series, right? So presumably they're planning on doing a third game plus that are surviving something or other, but I mean, we'll see how it goes, because while Surviving Mars is a phenomenal game, it's really good, and you should check it out if you have any interest in colony management sims. This, as I tracked through early access, I always felt it missed something. There was a secret sauce kind of missing, right? But we're coming in with an open mind to have another look at it. At 1.0, maybe they've resolved it. And I'm all for putting my money where my mouth is, right? So my main issue was there was an overworld map, a very tedious, trying to play like a 4X, moving your little dudes around, exploring the world, and it took away from what I would say is the strength of the game, which is the colony component. And they really tried to push this overworld alternate meta game mode, which I thought was weak from the beginning, and they should just pull it out. So, but let's see where we're at. I could be wrong. They could have fixed it. Could be beautiful now, but that's why I'm a bit down on this game. Also worth noting is End Zone: A World Apart, kind of released alongside this, another relatively compared to Paradox at least, unknown sort of game, but my take was that it was the superior version. It is a post-apocalyptic survival sort of top-down colony management game, except that game is phenomenal. So if you're even remotely interested in this, at least have a look at End Zone: World Apart. I'm not trying to necessarily drive people away from this game, but, you know, I know a little bit about this area, so I thought I'd share. Anyway, let's give this a go. Let's see where it's at. Prologue. Yeah, that's all right. I'm not worried about that. So, tutorial on. I mean, look, since we're showcasing it, and it's been a while since I played it, we should be able to pick it up, but, you know, it might be helpful for you. This is, of course, an overview video. I'm trying to inform you with a bit of gameplay in there as well, so you might as well see how the game actually plays. If you want a high-end review at 40 hours, that's not here. So this is sort of how you set it up, is with a narrative, choose your own adventure sort of difficulty setting. It's okay, I guess. It's got a charm to it. I'm not that worried. Medium. Common. Balanced. Average starting resources. That sounds good. Tech. Large scale production. Survival and efficiency. Health and safety. I don't know. We'll just pick 2 again because we picked 2. Specialists. Yeah, this is okay, so they had like 1 or 2, but now they've got 1 billion of these edgelords. Jesus, look at this fucking dude. Oh my god, look at that Sheila. I went to school with that Sheila. Yeah, anyway. We'll see. They've still got the specialists in, obviously, so continue. Okay, I guess I can pick my symbol and there's a raptor in there as well. Wonderful. Nothing against Raptor, I love him. More against developers pandering to YouTubers to move copies. You know what? I could be wrong. That could just be a coincidental raptor. Let's get a 4-leaf clover. That seems pretty fucking cool. Colony name here. Let's come up with something original. Gronk. And what sort of motto would go well with that? I would probably say Gronk. Gronk's a pretty good motto that, you know, it gets the message across. You need to be concise in your communication in the post-apocalypse, and you know, we come in peace, we'd like to trade, and Gronk. Gronk is how we're going to respond to them. And they're going to get on board or they're going to get out of the way. Basic survival requires water, food, and shelter. Okay. Shit, I've been doing it wrong all this time. I thought it was energy drinks and bloody sugar bombs. Oh, do we start with literally 1 dude?
The world
New home.
is in ruins. Things once considered mundane.
Yeah, okay, cool, nice. Yeah, now, is this because I said let the tutorial start us out? Maybe. We'll see. Campsite, whatever. So you got like sort of, you know, if you're anal like me and you're trying to make perfect road systems and all that, you're going to have a very sad time here. I don't... Why is that red? That'll do. Let's put that there. Get to work, big dog.
The world is
Build a campsite. Let's go. All right, now what do you got to say?
There are survivors waiting for a signal from the settler. They
Yeah.
are cold.
I like this. I don't know if this was in it last time I played this, actually.
The colony take care
Invite
of
colonists
them.
by,
They can be invited in right away or later.
Nah, let's go. Pop off. Oh, he is. He's going to fire the little flare. That's very cute. Here we go.
Your first colonists have arrived.
Time to rebuild. Turn this hostile place into a home. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Look at that. Bloody monster closet. Okay, now what's going on here? First settlers. I've got these bloody goobers. Your colonists. Select a colonist. Right. Selecting a colonist and set their workplace or activity. Right. Need to keep these running smoothly. Minimum carry count can be set at the campsite to ensure this. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, so again, like I said, End Zone, I don't know if these games borrowed from each other. They came out developed side by side so quickly. I think it was just a bit of a coincidence. But it has a similar sort of tasking thing as well. Actually, here we go. Carrier count. We need a minimum. How many dudes do we have in our colony? I don't know. Let's keep 4 carriers. So these guys are just bloody, you know, odd jobbers. What do you want me to do here? Build a shelter. So there'll be this shelter system that you see in this sort of genre. Tent for making babies. Emergency shelter for just bloody getting everyone squared away, right? I find that... like that. I'm trying to figure out where the edge of the other part is. Okay, I think it was there. Let's do that. Making it hard for me to be anal about my city layouts game. So you got your little supplies. I mean, and this sort of art style might appeal to people. I kind of, especially after Surviving Mars, because Surviving Mars has that 70s futurism just down pat. Everything's clean and white, and they are really clever by throwing in like dust storms over the top of that. So that's how you add wear to something that is just a clean world of fiction, right? They've got this high fidelity realism, and like, I get it. I can see some of this medical, like, there's still that designation, but I would much rather something that leans more stylized, like, dare I say, Fortnite or something like that, from an art style. I don't like this grubby, sharp-edged realism, and End Zone does it as well, right? I really wish it was a little bit more stylized in direction. Select colonist. Carriers are vital. A minimum carry can be set in the campsite. Now try selecting a colonist to see their works. Oh, I didn't actually select a colonist. Is that what you're telling me? Right. Okay, cool. So she's walking. Good for you, Opal. Okay. Build 5 more shelters. Let's just build some more emergency shelters for now. Oh, I see what's going on, where I've built that. I've built it like that. Okay, let's go. Get building. Using resources. Click here to learn more. Yeah, right. So they got that designation. And again, at first blush, that's cool. That's actually really functional, and I love it. But if you're spoiled and you played Surviving Mars, you've seen the same company do the same thing better and cleaner with just colored blocks. I don't know. Maybe that, you know what? This is just personal aesthetic taste. Some people might love it, right? Check how many resources you have by clicking on the top bar, right? Yeah, I can see that. Cool. Let's build the shelters. This tutorial's alright. I would say, even though I've played it a little bit, you could probably just jump in the deep end with this without these sort of hints. You used to start with like a bus or like a center area that you could get starter resources from. So this is a different start, that's for sure. Build a water source. Alright, well we can do that. Here we go. It's even flashing for us. Water collector, water well. We'll put down a well. Oh, what's going on there? Red is not good. I mean, maybe we just plonk it over here in the bush. That sounds pretty good to me. Insufficient construction material for well. Well. We need boards and we need plastics, right? And we probably don't have enough of that there, right? It is actually, what is that called? It would be nice if it said when I moused over it. You can see there, wood. Is that different from this though? That's firewood. Right, okay. Task, build basic storages. Oh, really? All right, so the storage is tied to the resource gathering mechanic, right? So if we go a stockpile, which, is that not a stockpile, technically? Yeah, it isn't, so we can't task gathering from there. Stockpile. All right, let's get in there. And again, like I said, Surviving the Aftermath has all these mechanics as well. It actually sort of boggled my mind that they released on top of each other so close. Like, I'd love to know what the story is in the back end there. All right, cool. So let's build that. Is that built? I think it is. Okay, so you go move work area and you'll do something like this. You don't actually chop down trees, but you do scavenge wood. You go like that and off they go. They're going to go scavenge the wood from that area. It's a cool system. It's pretty inspired. I like it a lot. But I don't want to bang that drum. The two games do it. Alright, so everyone's a bit thirsty, but we're gathering wood now, so that's good. Alright, and then hopefully some bloody goober will build this, and then you can get your water. Waiting for free carriers. Now, carriers 7. You can see that we did allocate minimum 4. Whoever's out and about and loose will do the carrier work, right? So you don't have to be too anal about it, but the idea of setting a minimum I find to be quite clever. Here we go, someone's building it while everyone's busy dying of thirst.
Colonists died.
Oh well. It's a bit rough though. I am following the bouncing ball at the moment. Water.
Colonists died.
Oh, well. Hey, there you go. At least we're not overusing the water. Build basic storages. Got it. Right. So let's get the food storage going. I don't know. Maybe we can just bung it behind. Build a burial pit. Yeah. Okay. Water collector, right? Produces water in small quantities. Must be built on a shore, right? And then there's clean water storage, so we could probably do that to try and avoid further dramas. I kind of feel like it's so desaturated. I wish it was more overt with the red lockout thing. Wood depleted. Is that all wood? No, it's just some of the wood. Okay, come back when it's a catastrophe. Build a burial pit. Where would I do that, you reckon? Health? Burial pit. There we go. Oh, have I fucked up here with my little building system? Looks like I have. Whatever. That'll do. 2 deposits depleted. Alright, there we go. Insufficient material for burial pit. Right, so we need plastics. We should probably make some tents as well so people can start smashing out babies. Now we've got to move the food area so they'll get them gathering berries, so that's good. Occupants 3 out of 3. So you got to stay on top of your tent game, I suppose. Yeah, what I wanted to do was get plastics going. How does it work in this one? Recycler, right? Three out of 3. Increase food production, right? Production consumption. See at a glance, okay, now we've got a consumption component there. Let's get some food going. A trapper will probably do just fine. Though I think same thing, you can move the production space fairly simply. Alright. Once this is built, those bottlenecks should abate a little bit. Move work area to there. And they're basically going to scrounge that up. Let's add another worker in. Waiting for an available worker. There, probably doesn't help that everyone bloody died on me. Okay. At least we've got one person doing that, so she's slowly going to produce plastics. When it's not knockoff. Select your specialist. Okay, so this is where it falls apart a little bit, but let's see, right? Specialists can be sent out into the map. They can gather basic resources like berries and wood when directly commanded. Right, got it. Select a specialist. Are you a specialist? Opal's not looking so crash hot. What's her problem? She's alright. I guess I can click on up here. So you got this sort of bloody Warcraft 3 hero mode component, right? I don't really... I mean, go get those berries, maybe? You too. Something's off with a shelter. Some shortcuts have been made during building.
Not everybody is equally skilled in the art of building.
Oh, okay, so this is a bit of an event.
Seems extraordinarily bad at it.
We'll improve it. We've got the spare wood. And we got some happiness, apparently. Well, that's nice. Build a road. Building roads will speed up colonist movement, right? Okay, cool. So the existing road doesn't really count. That's okay. Let's run that all the way. Yeah, look at that, you idiot. Let's do something like that. Now, will that be smart enough to... It looks like it is. See, there's an edge there, but not there. So, I'd be curious if that merges into a road. Oh, you know what I mean, like into a fatter road. Set a production limit. By production buildings, set limits to save storage space or free up colonists for more important tasks. Okay, so my wonder is then, I hear you on that, I hear you. So if I put a production limit on, say, this, it said free them up for tasks. Will that allow them to turn into a carrier? Workers work in their assigned building. Carriers transport resources. Adults are either workers or carriers, while elders function. Yeah, now see, you need to be more clear about this game, because that sort of inferred that, say I said, let's put a limit on this. Like, I don't know, 20? Will she actually in turn go and help carry? You would hope so. You would hope so. But it's too vague. That's okay. Learn by doing, but I wish I could give you the answer right now, you know? Alright, we can get rid of that pop-up. That's cool. Build an outhouse. Okay, so it's very much follow the bouncing ball at the moment. There you go. Have a shitter at the front of there. Yeah, there you go. So that road is actually really cool. I like that a lot. Look at this stupidity. Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay. Let's let it just run for the moment. Insufficient construction material. Ah, that's right. We're working on it. Looks like this house is finally getting built. Maybe we'll queue up a road here as well. Something like that. Construction completed trapper. Same thing, you can move his work area, right? So we can put him... Well, apparently these trees have something to do with it, so... I don't know, put him out there. I like that little marker, that's cute. So he's off to catch rabbits or some such, but we don't have enough workers there. We're all pretty tied up. It's a shame we had those couple of people die at the beginning. That waste pile is about to blow. What are you talking about? 14 health, 15. Alright, everyone's slowly getting back in the game. Build a gate. We can do that. And this will allow us to go out into the world, I suppose. 170... Jesus.
Suddenly, muffled cries for help start echoing from one of the shelters.
Oh, wow.
Inside a large
Shoddy
hole
Construction
has opened up
Simulator
the ground,
2021.
swallowing the poor colonist.
And build a ladder. As long as I've got wood, I think we'll be right. Jeez, this is going to take a while to build, isn't it? How many guys did I have die? About 3, maybe? We still haven't finished the burial pit. How many carriers did I keep in reserve? Interesting that I said minimum of 4 and yet it only gives me 3. Like, how does that happen? Like, it hasn't staffed this. That's a bit strange, isn't it? Now, will the outhouse... Oh, well, there's some sort of medical component to it? Does it deal with their dirtiness? A dirty boy just went in there. Injuries and other conditions. Water shortage. Colonist Myla infected. That's not good. Wood deposit depleted. Don't worry about that. Alright, let's build a medical tent. So... yeah, so I guess the start is a bit follow the bouncing ball, just build everything. And I've heard people say that this game sort of it runs out of juice a little bit. Once you are set up, it's sort of like, oh, look at this pollution. It's sort of like, all right, well, now I'm set up. What do you want me to say? That sort of thing. We might need another water well. Too close to another building of the same type. Okay, that's interesting. Might even make this a can we make that a priority? Pause. Build next. Okay, that's cool. I don't mind that. 1 tier of priority.
Colonists died.
Oh, crying out loud. I remember this happening last time I played it, actually. So there is a little bit of an issue that I'm just following the bouncing ball. You know, I'm just doing what the tutorial's telling me to do, and my colony's bricking, basically, which is that's a bit rude, don't you think? Oh, there goes my scrap. Oh, well, we need to really fix this, don't we? Alright, well, I guess we turn the carry count down to 0. I mean, shit, maybe 1, as long as we've got someone carrying. There we go, we need that staffed up immediately. What's this? Trapper got staffed.
Colonists died.
Oh my goodness. Well, now we're out of bloody doodakies, right? Alright, let's just real quickly, we'll reset. Exit to main menu. We'll see how it goes without the tutorial, because, you know, if you just hit the ground running, you'd probably be alright without any of that sort of stuff. Where did it prompt? Here, tutorial off. Right. That's, oh yeah, let's go Raptor, let's go. Rock bottom for a better tomorrow, perfect, let's go. Straight in. So we'll see if it still has the single dude beginning, or if that's just a tutorial component that got added, because I could have sworn you started with like a storage center, or depending on the start you chose, through those dialogues, I think you might have been able to get a different start. But that's a little bit of a, granted, I'm going slowly, I'm talking about the game, it's first go, but let's just consider the new player experience. Yeah, okay, we do start like this. If you're watching this, you've never seen this before, you've never seen my channel, you don't know this game or anything like that, you're probably going to start probably slower, especially if you're not used to this genre. You probably go a bit slower than me with the tutorial, and I reckon you'll probably brick your first colony. It's giving me tutorial messages anyway. Did I make a mistake? Well, I guess that's pretty much the same anyway. So yeah, you can just get into it and go hard in the paint. But yeah, I feel like it's a unique problem because, I mean, people joke I'm almost a tutorial channel because I do a lot of first looks and I cover these sort of games that can take a little bit of time to teach you, right? So if there's one thing I'm across, it's tutorials. And it's a bit of a unique one outside of, the only example I can think of is like Dark Souls type games where they have this sort of winking at the camera, they give you a boss early that kills you to teach you about the death mechanic and how death is part of the loop. This is, something almost tutorial-like in a Souls-like hardcore game or a roguelike or whatever, right? Where they'll kill you. And so, in a way, there's a failure component to the tutorial. But this, I don't know. Like, I don't really think it's a sign of something intended. The game's not trying to make me brick my colony on purpose, and yet if you follow the tutorial fairly closely, your colony bricks pretty immediately. That's pretty piss weak, I think. Now, maybe I'm misunderstanding it or whatever. I'd be curious to hear a counterpoint, but if you have played these types of games, or maybe this is your 10th time playing this one or whatever, you've restarted it many times, your opinion's probably going to be a little bit coloured. I'm more worried about the new players coming in and checking this out and going, well, I did what the tutorial said, why is my colony not surviving? And in fact, so much so that I feel like you're probably going to brick against a tutorial a couple of times until you realise, okay, I get that I have to build water food, turn the tutorial off, do your own thing, and then actually have a successful colony. That doesn't sound good to me. But anyway, look, this game, broadly speaking, is exactly the same as the last time I saw it. All right, they've probably added some bits and bobs. It's okay, right? That's my takeaway. My takeaway as a fan of this genre is there are better games in this space. A great one to look at is Surviving Mars. Its predecessor is just objectively better in every way. Have a look at it. And if you're more married to this not genre, setting, I suppose we could say, the post-apocalyptic colony building, End Zone A World Apart, you can't go wrong. That game is infinitely better than this one, right? We didn't really get to look at the overworld map with the specialists and all that. I mean, I could probably just click on the map straight away and show you a little bit, but until you build that gate, you can't send them out, and there was a lot of resources required to build the gate. You essentially move them around here, and they have like move points that regenerate over time, and it has this sort of what I would call like well, I suppose technically it's a positive feedback loop, but it's reinforcing something negative, right? In that the more dudes you have in this map, you got to move him to here and him to here and there, and then go explore this region, and you go back in, and then they'll start resetting their move points at different rates. So then, say you had 5 guys in the overworld map, you're constantly popping back up into this map to tell them to go out here and fucking explore for a couple of resources, and you end up in and out of the 2 maps non-stop, and it's tedious. Right, take my word for it, it is tedious, and this is the weakest part of this game, yet they seem insistent from day dot to put it in and rip shit or bust. It's almost like someone at the very highest end of the development insists that this is important and refuses to hear feedback, or no one will stand up to them, except silly old me with my YouTube channel saying it's the worst part of this game is this overworld map, and their refusal to take it out is just, I don't know, man. They just kept adding other features, and they didn't deal with the fact that it's not really fun. It sounds harsh. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be harsh or anything like that. I mean, maybe the game is okay over the longer term once you invest in it, and that's fine. You know, people can only, I understand, maybe you only buy one game every 6 months, and this is the one that you decide to get. There is fun to be had here. But from my seat, where I'm sitting, where I play everything, I try everything out, I'm telling you now, if you haven't dropped money on this, there are better options in this space than this game. However, maybe you've played the shit out of Endzone and Surviving Mars and all that sort of stuff. I mean, and it might be personal taste as well. I think there's infinitely better Paradox games. Go play Crusader Kings or something like that, right? But yeah. It doesn't change the fact I'm still a fan of Paradox. I like a lot of their games, you know, but that doesn't mean you can't be critical of something you love, right? And I think Crusader Kings 3 is a great example. Love it. Also, like I said, Surviving Mars. I boot that up routinely. I love that game. I really do. But that doesn't make them immune to criticism or bombs. And I think this is kind of a bit of a bomb, to be perfectly honest. Bit of a flop. But what would I know? I'm just an idiot who plays video games, so take that with a grain of salt. Team, thanks again for joining me. Might just leave it there for the time being, and I will catch you guys on the next one.